and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I'm your host, Petula Olivert. In this edition, the Cultural Development Foundation launches the Artscape performance stage, and the Prime Minister announces that government will double the grant funding allocated to the Youth Economy Agency. You're watching St. Lucia Magazine. In the top story, the Cultural Development Foundation unveiled the Artscape multifunctional performance stage at the National Cultural Center.
It was a proud moment for lovers of art, dance, and theatre in St. Lucia as local theologian and cultural activist Monsignor Honorable Dr. Patrick Anthony blessed the grounds which now hold the latest structure for artistic expression on island. Artscape, the multifunctional performance stage. The official launch and handover ceremony was undoubtedly a captivating showcase of art made possible by the efforts of the St. Lucia Social Development Fund under the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund. According to Director of SSDF Brandon Antoine, it is an honor to be able to hand over this stage to the CDF as they believe it will play a critical role for the future of creatives in St. Lucia.
We are handing over a state-of-the-art facility to the Cultural Development Foundation, who will manage this facility on behalf of the artists and the creatives. The multifunctional performance stage provides an outdoor theater-style venue different to the typical indoor facility. And it is in proximity with the Castries Air and Seaport, which will make it even more accessible to a range of uses and users, including locals and tourists alike.
The SSDF spent a total of $981,000 on the project, utilizing grant funding from the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of St. Lucia. The newly built multifunctional performance stage also included the construction of changing rooms, access for the differently abled, side drains, and side access for equipment, as well as the installation of fencing, a septic tank, and grading and rehabilitation of the seating area. Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation, Mrs. Ramona Henry Wynn, says Artscape is more than just a stage, but a strategic investment in St. Lucia's creative future.
The concept of Artscape was born out of the expressed needs of our artistic community. They call for a suitable, dedicated space to rehearse, perform, and present their work. As early as 2012, the CDF responded to that call, submitting a proposal for this facility as part of our annual budget. We are extremely proud that it was approved, not only for the construction of the facility, but also with a training component aimed at strengthening capacity within our creative sector.
Representing the Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information, Deputy Permanent Secretary Calvin Lee commended the organizations for the initiative.
What you see here today is a manifestation and a transformative step in St. Lucia's culture and creative landscape. A space where our various artists, artisans, performers, and cultural entrepreneurs can shine, connect, and grow. The ministry continues to support initiatives as these as we strengthen the link between culture, tourism, and investment, ensuring that the visitors to our shores, as well as locals, can experience the heartbeat of St. Lucia through the creative performances.
The construction of the project was done by Felix Construction Limited, with Thebels Construction Limited providing the technical oversight. Officials from the CDF have sworn to do all in their power to make Artscape a successful addition to the creative landscape of St. Lucia, which will allow culture to drive both economic growth and social transformation.
Prime Minister Pierre has announced government's intention to double the grant funding allocated to the Youth Economy Agency in continued efforts to encourage youth entrepreneurship and expand access to economic opportunities across St. Lucia.
The youth economy has been a very successful venture, and if I can say it for the young people, there are scores of young people, over 1,000, who have benefited from the youth economy.
Recognized by the CARICOM region as a model for youth empowerment, the Youth Economy Agency continues to transform lives across St. Lucia, providing a special economic space for young people to turn hobbies into entrepreneurship and skills into businesses. Now, in response to the overwhelming demand and measurable success of the program, Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, who is also the Minister for the Youth Economy Agency, has announced that grant funding to the youth economy will double, expanding access and opportunity for young entrepreneurs across the country.
So what the government will do in this next term is we're going to double the money available to the youth economy for grants. We're going to double it. And then also there's a loan component which has been funded by the Caribbean Development Bank, and it's been administered by St. Lucia Development Bank. So we'll speak to the CDB to see what can happen there. The loan component has been a little slower than the grant component. The grant component has been much faster, so we're going to see if we can double it, double the amount available, and after discussions with the board, we'll see whether we can increase the amount.
The Youth Economy Agency has quickly become one of the pillars of St. Lucia's post-pandemic economic recovery, turning youth potential into national productivity. Through small business development, training, and access to finance, the youth economy is helping young people participate more fully in the formal economy, strengthening local enterprise and expanding opportunities across sectors such as agriculture, fashion, creative arts, manufacturing, and digital media. In so doing, it is creating an indigenous entrepreneurial base, one built on St. Lucian talent, innovation, and ownership. The results speak for themselves.
So far, to date, we have processed about 1,555 grants. And in terms of training, we have trained over 880 persons and mentored about 126 persons. So to date, the value in terms of the direct investment in just access to finance and training is over $9 million EC. And that is just a direct cost. I mean, if you have to verify in terms of the other benefits, for instance, if we order a pressure washer for you, right? The pressure washer may probably be, let's say, $800 US, but when it comes in St. Lucia, that value is over 5,000. So that's why I said just direct. If we have to verify in terms of the multiplier effect, it is much more significant in terms of the impact on employment, the hope that we give to young persons, as the common saying is that idle hands are the devil's workshop. So we have taken out a lot of persons from being unemployed to becoming employed. And we have given out of young persons hope. That, hey, there is somebody there who cares, there is somebody that I could go to and I could get access to finance.
Since 2022, the government of St. Lucia has invested EC 9.2 million through the Youth Economy Agency in financing, mentorship, and training, giving young people the tools to innovate, employ, and lead. The expansion of the program will ensure that even more youth can transform their passions into viable businesses, building independence and contributing to St. Lucia's economic growth.
Still to come, St. Lucia partners with ICA on climate-smart agriculture, and the Ministry of Agriculture hosts a banana and plantain festival. Please, stay with us.
St. Lucia, are you ready for the 4th annual Jimmy's, the St. Lucia Tourism Awards? Now is your time to recognize the best in the tourism industry. Nominations are now open till December 19th, 2025. Let's reward service excellence. Show them your support by giving them a chance to win a coveted Jimmy. Don't wait. Head to stlucia.org/Jimmy's and nominate today. Jimmy's 2025. Journey to excellence.
Par kon nou selman, nou sa fe timyed. Le nou pa kon nou selman mesye chay la ka pli lou. San wende, nou pa kay sa fey. Le nou vini ansam kon min, nous sa accompli si tellement en pile. Les vies santé et sécurité kay fait assurer qui tout Saint-Lucien kay joine bon qualité santé qui appuie qui raisonnable. Ça pas anik on taxe sous ça. Ça c'est investissement nous en occupation santé tout Saint-Lucien. Ensemble, nous avons fait tant qui a venu primaire, côté occupation santé, c'est un droit tout Saint-Lucien mérité.
Fisherfolk in St. Lucia are facing many negative effects of climate change.
La vie pêche est difficile parce que pour ça aller plus fond, ça nous peut acheter plus fuel pour faire journée la mer, nous pour dépenser plus la gasoline. En raison de ça, la vie peut être pêche difficile.
Parti là, c'est un bail qui affecte nous la vie. Il peut affecter vivre nous, il peut affecter canaux nous et il peut affecter machine nous. Aussi, il peut affecter placement pêche.
Assurer cher, c'est pour ça c'est difficile pour pêcher ça assurer quand notre eau a pris la meilleure et puis pour adopter le changement du climat.
Climate change is happening. Are you prepared? Changement climat qu'a fait. Est-ce que vous préparez?
Welcome back. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture has launched the St. Lucia edition of the Caribbean Climate Responsive Agriculture Forum. The initiative aims to unite key agricultural partners to advance climate-smart agriculture and strengthen community resilience. Sarek Felix reports.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, has officially launched the St. Lucia edition of the Caribbean Climate Responsive Agriculture Forum, CCRAF, on the road, bringing together key agricultural stakeholders to outline a week-long series of activities focused on climate-smart agriculture and community empowerment. The CCRAF On the Road initiative serves as a platform for collaboration, awareness, and knowledge sharing across the Caribbean. Its core objectives are to promote climate-smart agriculture practices and policies, strengthening regional capacity, and build a network of engaged actors linking technical knowledge to practical, on-the-ground action. This year's St. Lucia edition will span an entire week, featuring a diverse schedule of school visits, farm tours, and stakeholder consultations. These activities aim to deepen understanding of climate-resilient agriculture methods while encouraging community participation in sustainable farming solutions. Representative of the Eastern Caribbean states, ICA delegation in St. Lucia, Greg Rollins, emphasized the importance of this initiative in strengthening information sharing and building knowledge on climate resilience across vulnerable Caribbean countries.
So we brought together policymakers, researchers, scientists, farmers, and a range of stakeholders to really, for the first time, look at how the agricultural sector was being impacted by climate change and what could be done, what kind of actions could be taken to build resilience and provide an appropriate response by the agricultural sector. And those spaces were created in each country for dialogue, and then we evolved to using the technology to having a lot more exchanges across the countries to now where CCRAF is a major knowledge action, not just platform, but a network that is really making a difference and having great impact in bringing information and knowledge on this important subject. We all recognize the fact that the ECS countries, including St. Lucia, are extremely vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. There's a need to build resilience. It's a priority area for us in ICA. And therefore, this resilient agriculture program that manages the CCRAF process is very, very important.
Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Bradley Sentage, underscores the ministry's commitment to supporting agricultural resilience while addressing emerging challenges, ensuring food security and promoting innovation within the sector.
As you know, at the forefront of the ministry in terms of objective is enhancing food security. All right, and we know the challenges that surround us, that confronts us in achieving that mandate. All right, so when we got to know about the craft, we were very much excited, and I think my team is very much on board. So I really want to thank everyone who is involved, and I'm hoping that over the next few days, we will have a very successful initiative.
Through collective dialogue and hands-on experience, the Seacraft on the road is expected to leave a lasting impact, strengthening partnerships, empowering local farmers, and advancing St. Lucia's journey towards a more climate-resilient agricultural sector. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, I am Zarek Felix reporting.
In more agricultural news, World Food Day was observed with a banana and plantain festival that celebrated culinary creativity and promoted food security in St. Lucia. Zarek Felix tells us more.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development recently hosted a vibrant banana and plantain festival, bringing together farmers, agro-processors, chefs, students, and key sector partners in a lively celebration of St. Lucia's agriculture and culinary diversity. The event, held in observance of World Food Day and celebrated under the theme Hand in Hand for Better Foods and a Better Future, showcased a wide range of innovative banana and plantain dishes, from traditional favorites to modern gourmet creations, reflecting the island's deep-rooted connection to these staple crops. The festival served as a dynamic platform for discussions on nutrition, food security, and the fight against hunger, aligning with the global call to action to build sustainable and resilient food systems. Event coordinator Philip Sidney emphasized the importance of the Ministry of Agriculture alignment in boosting St. Lucia's food and nutrition security by encouraging people to consume more locally grown foods.
St. Lucia every year also celebrates World Food Day in many ways, and it's linked to our annual work program, because one of the things we are looking at, and the minister has said it, is our food and nutrition security. It is key. Now, with that said, we have another branch, another attachment, Eat Fresh, St. Lucia's Best. That means we need to encourage St. Lucians to eat more of what is produced locally.
Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, emphasized the government's continued commitment to strengthening the agricultural sector and empowering local farmers.
We must ensure that we are food secure, and when we are food secure, we will be able to ensure that we have food available to all persons, and at the same time, food that is nutritious, that contributes to the health of a country or a nation. I'm happy that the ministry has been able to secure the funds like previous years to create a vibe, an opportunity where people can come in and showcase their products. And this year it is about plantain and bananas. It's really a plantain and banana festival where persons can use those two crops or products from those crops to be able to indicate how we can use, in other words, the various types of food coming from plantain and bananas. And I've had the opportunity since I came in to sample a few, which I must say is very delicious, and I'm hoping that participants can do the same.
The lively atmosphere of the Banana and Plantain Festival, filled with the aroma of creative dishes, local music, and community spirit, symbolized the unity and innovation driving the island's agricultural transformation. The festival's success reaffirms the essential role of agriculture in ensuring food security, improving nutrition, and promoting economic resilience in St. Lucia, truly echoing the spirit of working hand in hand for better foods and a better future. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security, and Rural Development, I am Zarek Felix reporting.
Up next, the Ministry of Finance aims to improve its efficiency, and the community of La Ressource celebrates La Marguerite. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I am a food scientist by qualification, and it encompasses quite a wide spectrum of things, from food technologists who go into factories and will work with product development that's then sold in stores. Regenerative agriculture, you don't have the use of chemicals, so we're producing more nutritious food, and then to take that into the processing area to make products that are totally plant-based or vegan, and all of the different fruits from kiwis, mangoes, pineapples, starfruit, golden apple, papaya go into making cakes, cookies, cupcakes, crackers. But this is just the beginning. So always start small, and then always have a vision. Even though you're starting small, you know where you're going, and you can see it expand and grow.
World Creativity and Innovation Week, April 17th to the 21st. Step out and innovate.
Welcome back. The Feast of St. Margaret Mary Alacoque was observed on October 17th. The community of La Ressource Dennery hosted the festival this year.
Leading members of the St. Lucian clergy led celebrations at the St. Michael's Parish Catholic Church in La Ressource Dennery in celebration of the La Marguerite Floral Society.
L'année ça m'était en jouté en dit de moi. Pour qui raison? Parce que moi t'en bon chanter l'église là, et puis la ten en chai mamay l'école. Ça fait moi beaucoup plaisir.
The calls were for youth to help sustain the uniquely St. Lucian cultural event.
It is one of the positive things about La Marguerite, that it is held during the school season. And
today has been beautiful, I must say. I'm enjoying myself. It's hot, so let's hope that the rest of it goes on fine, because we had a wonderful church service.
Ça c'est un beau bagage, ça a fait moi plaisir. Et puis groupe moi-même ni à peu près 25 mamay. Et puis l'estan c'est grand monde. Parce que moi ni yo 100 monde en groupe moi.
The church service was followed by a parade, giving the groups an opportunity to showcase their music costumes and group structure. This year, the festival was being hosted on the East Coast, considered the base of the floral societies in St. Lucia.
And I am glad that we get to give places like the Mabuya Valley, like those places where we have all these Debord, the Comte, they have La Rose, they have the La Marguerite, all of these things. They get a chance to shine, to be in the spotlight.
Following the parade, the Marguerite groups profiled their Chete and Shutwell at the La Ressource playing field, showcasing songs that featured picong and poked fun at their rivals, or celebrated their vaunted floral societies. October 17th, for some members, was the most important day of the year.
When you see 17th of October, I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. Because I know it's Margaret Festival, I'm not sleeping. And I love my Margaret. I love my flower. Blue is my color.
The Cultural Development Foundation played a leading role in ensuring the presentations were entertaining and culturally rich.
This is a very unique festival. As you know, UNESCO is now in discussion with CDF
in inscribing it as an intangible cultural heritage on the list of intangible cultural heritage, because it's unique. You Google it and you search anywhere and you find that this festival is only done and celebrated in St. Lucia. So we have to do all that we can to preserve it, and I want to thank all those who ensure that this continues.
The participating groups were generally pleased with the day's celebrations and encouraged by the enthusiastic participation of students, raising hope that the floral societies will be celebrated for generations to come.
The Treasury Department convened an accountants conference in an effort to strengthen accountability and efficiency in the management of public finances. Glenn Simon reports.
The Department of Finance, through the Accountant General's Department, has embarked on a mission to modernize the management of government finances. Accountants from key departments including Inland Revenue, Audit, Procurement and several other agencies recently convened a workshop organized by the Treasury Department. Accountant General Matthew Branford explained that this Public Sector Accountants Conference aimed to address several critical issues impacting public accountability, efficiency and overall effectiveness within government's financial management system.
Without the Treasury expediting on the obligations effectively, it affects the public, it affects the private sector businesses because there is delay in payment processing and so on. So it's absolutely necessary for us to ensure that we deliver on the obligations of the government in a timely manner. And we expedite that with our various processes, and the accountants are also participating in the agencies to ensure that that happens effectively and efficiently as well.
The conference comes at a pivotal time when the government has introduced a new financial management system, InfoCloud Suite, to replace the long-standing SmartStream platform. This modern system, which integrates artificial intelligence (AI) technology, is designed to significantly enhance efficiency, accuracy and transparency across the public service.
Businesses are growing. The private sector is growing in technology and bringing in new innovation. Government must also bring in new innovation in its processes. We are responsible for a very, very important budget, which is the estimate of expenditure every year. So it's important that the agencies of government come together to deliver on this budget and the promise that was made in the House of Assembly.
The Accountant General emphasized that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, noting that the Treasury Department is committed to ensuring that all government agencies operate at optimum levels and effectively deliver on the programs within the approved budget. He also announced a major shift away from paper checks to faster electronic payments.
When we review our processes, we realize that we are printing a lot of checks. A lot of checks are being left. Persons are not aware that there is a payment because of maybe delays they had or experienced in the past. So we are now utilizing the ACH platform with the banks where we pay electronic funds transfer, and this allows us to pay persons much faster than before, and that the monies get to their accounts with much ease than coming to the Treasury or our different locations to collect a check and go to the bank.
Branford pointed out that the Treasury Department, as the custodian of public funds, must lead the charge to ensure accountability, transparency, and the timely fulfillment of government's financial obligations. He added that the Accountant General's Department will continue to work closely with accountants across the public service to strengthen financial management and enhance service delivery. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. Thank you to everyone who contributed to this production, the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communications officers across government ministries. And thank you, our viewers, for watching NTN Channel 122 and following the official social media pages of the Government of St. Lucia. I'm Petula Olibert. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue to track St. Lucia's progress.